posted on Reddit, so it might take some time for people to find the new one, or maybe it'll just direct people to this one if they're trying to go to the old one. How's there already 26 people here? That's weird. I guess people were waiting. Let me see all these comments I missed. Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. No, what? What's up, Dave, Slippy, Neon, Neen, RGF, Easy E, Benny, Big Ew, I don't speak French. Bobby, John, Farty Lip Juice, Paranoid. What's up, guys? Happy New Year. Man, what a year 2025 was. Crazy, crazy, crazy year. What's up, Dave? Hey. I'm gonna wait till I get into the important stuff, just so people can find the stream and roll in. About to roll a fat blueberry slushy blunt. Blueberry slushy, never heard of it. I got some Granite Haze F7 right here, though. So cheers, everybody. I probably shouldn't do that on the live stream. Maybe I'll get banned. What's up, OG? And there's no way I can pronounce that out loud. But what's up, man? Or lady, man? Yeah, so I'm going to be talking tonight just about some of the stuff that's happened in 2025. Just kind of a little bit of a recap, and some of the stuff we have planned for 2026. And then I have like a seriously big, crazy announcement. Wow, no, you guys can decide how crazy it is. For our subreddit members specifically. Easy E said you're smoking some citrus bubblegum harvested in August. Hell yeah. That one, citrus bubblegum, was a strain that was so underappreciated at first. Like, it just didn't sell very well early on. And I don't know if it's because it's kind of like a generic, boring name. Really, the strain names have such an impact on how well something sells. But, or maybe it's just that a lot of people, I mean, the people who did buy it ended up growing it, posting pictures, and then people saw the pictures of how good it was, and over time, I guess, people just sort of got more and more into it. And now that strain is one of our most popular. So, yeah. What's up, Daphne? Happy New Year to you. Got it, but haven't run it yet. Yeah, it's a good one to run for sure. We have time for question and answer when you're done. Yeah, I was actually trying to set it up so that I could take phone calls during the live. I just can't get it working where incoming calls are coming to this phone, because currently I have the Google Voice set up on that phone that's doing the live right now. And I tried to switch it over, and I've done that before, but for some reason I tried doing a test call to it and it just didn't come through. So I'm not sure why that is. But yeah, I mean, if one of you guys wants to try to make a call to our number 405-237-9524 and see if maybe it comes in, because I did change some settings real quick before I went live. So if somebody wants to test it and see if it maybe comes through on this one. But in the future, I think I do want to start doing some live streams where, oh shit. Can you guys hear me better now? Because I tried to set it up so the microphone was on. I was going to put one of these microphones right on the phone. Does it sound like these microphones are working? Like, much better? Perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah. So whoever's calling me from Georgia right now, it's still coming through on this phone. So I don't know how I can, here, I'm just going to have to swipe that away. I don't know how I can switch it over right this second. Sorry, I completely forgot I'm sorry, I'm a little stoned. Forgot I had the microphones set up here. So this is the microphone, and I will be talking into this. But yeah, my plan was there's two of them on here, just because I get better audio quality when I use both mics, and I was gonna put one of them on the speaker, and then just be able to have you guys call in. So I'll set that up for future live streams, because I thought that was maybe a good idea if people had grow questions or whatever cannabis industry questions, whatever it is. Yeah, thank you, Neen. It came through on the phone that's doing the live. But everyone likes the microphone. Yeah, just standard mic. But yeah. So actually, this is a branch of the strain one of the strains that we're going to be dropping tomorrow. This right here is the Juice Pop. Super solid strain. It's a really good one. So yeah, Juice Pop is going to be dropping tomorrow. And I am deciding right now. So it's definitely at least going to be a double drop. I'm deciding whether or not I want to make it a triple early release multi-pack with two other strains in there, plus a freebie that we haven't given out. And the freebie, I can tell you, is definitely going to be the Granite Haze F6S1. So that is the pollen donor that made the F7 generation for a large part. We had some other pollen donors, but like the primary pollen donor that made the I'll talk about the nutrient line a little bit later in the stream, by the way. But the pollen donor that made like the bulk of the F7 generation for it also pollinated itself. So it's not technically an F7, it's like an F6S self-pollinated S1. So that's going to be the freebie that comes with the new drops, and I'm leaning pretty heavily toward making it just an early release multi-pack with 3 strains plus a freebie. And the sale will be active when we do the drop. So it's going to be an insane deal for New Genetics. I'm kind of not happy that we're doing that. Obviously, we would make a lot more money if we dropped the strains when the sale wasn't running. But fuck it, it's Christmas, and it's just past Christmas. It's the holiday season. I figure we'll give you guys a deal. And yeah, so Juice Pop is the orange portal cross citrus bubblegum, which a lot of people have already gotten as a freebie. Actually, a lot of the 3 strains. So the 3 strains that I'll give you the names. So there's 2 other ones that. One of them I'm definitely going to release, and the other one I'm still deciding. Speedrun, easy for newbies. Yeah, so Dave, the mad scientist here in the chat, actually just used the nutrient line. He got great results with it. So how hard would you say the process of growing it is for a beginner? I don't know if you're talking about specifically the new strain, Best Simpson, but yeah, all of our strains, we try to keep them like 75 days average harvest time, and we work really hard to only select ones where people are going to have a decent really no finicky. We try to avoid finicky stuff. I honestly feel guilty getting your seeds so cheap. Don't be afraid to charge us full price, brother. No, it's and Ethan, by the way, I believe we had some contact with you earlier about your order. I posted something on Reddit, and I don't know if everybody here is from the subreddit, but apparently the post office was only open until noon today, and we didn't know that. So there's a ton of orders that were supposed to be getting dropped off this afternoon that are going to have to go out on Friday. So as far as like our 3-day shipping rule, so we have a policy where if your order doesn't ship out in 3 days, you get double your money back in store credit. We're really trying to hold ourselves accountable for making sure orders go out quickly, and it's been working really well. This we're gonna have to treat today as a postal holiday day, so it's 3 business working days, and so we're gonna have to kind of just delete today out of the system for that. So today is not gonna count as a day essentially, because the post office just wasn't available to us. We got a bunch of orders ready to go out. We had these giant bags of packages that we showed up to the post office with, and had to throw them right back in the car because it was closed. So disappointing for us, and I'm sure for everybody who is gonna have to wait an extra day or two for their orders. Don't forget about Discord. Yeah, I got to get into the Discord more. Sometimes I just have some trouble like navigating it and knowing, like I don't even on my own Discord, I don't even know which of the rooms to post stuff in. What was that? Something just popped up asking me what superpower I would want for the day. Is that just like a YouTube suggestion thing maybe? I don't know. Super easy. Get a BOS 3.0 only, or cocoa and crop salt granulars, some auto pots, a Floraflex light, and a fan or two, and let it rip. I agree with a lot of what you just said. Auto pot tray to grows. That's what we use in our grow rooms, and they are amazing. Super, yeah. It makes everything easy. We've got big water tanks that we have lifted up about like a little over a foot, maybe 16 inches off the ground, and gravity feeds everything. The Floraflex lights, 100%. We got 700-watt Floraflex LED lights in here. We paid $2.99 delivered with free shipping and everything, and they are amazing lights. They run cool. They're super slim. They look really nice. They're very even light map. Really love those lights. Crop salt, not a huge fan myself, and we'll be talking a little bit about our release date for our nutrients, which is going to be very competitively priced. And as the mad scientist here in the chat can attest, it really is an extremely solid nutrient line. It some of the things that I really like about it, it really boosts anthocyanin production. So you're going to see more color out of your plants with the full auto, and with photoperiod growers who have used a slightly different formulation of it and feeding schedule, but kind of the same ingredients-based nutrients. We have a lot of data from photoperiod growers using our nutrients, and we have reported faster finish times with photo periods, and we're still running some tests to see how much that applies with the autos, whether it may or may not. But and then terpene production is excellent with the full auto, so it really is just. I don't know. I'm infatuated with the nutrients, and I know it's been a long time. We've been saying we're going to release it. Basically, the deal with why it hasn't released yet is Full Auto is a completely separate company, and I have a business partner in that company. And Speedrun, I'm the sole owner of Speedrun, and we were having some issues. We were understaffed, and shipping times weren't excellent. We kind of went through a period there where just things weren't what they needed to be. And I just kind of made the decision. We brought on an excellent customer care manager who is on Reddit and monitoring the email. She's here. She's one of the moderators here, I believe, on the stream. And I'm not sure if she wants me to say her first name. But she's been just an essential part of the company in the time that she's been working with us. And, I can't thank her enough for everything she's done. So she has made a huge difference in that. And also, I've been stepping up, working more hands-on in the order fulfillment. I brought on 2 new people who are working full-time in order fulfillment. We've changed a lot of our processes. We did a lot of, we gave all of our packaging for the seeds a facelift, where everything has new color vinyl. I personally designed all the new labels here. I think I actually have a sheet somewhere. I don't know where I put that. Probably had a label sheet sitting around here somewhere. But anyway, here it is. Yeah. So, before we were just using kind of like black and white, but now we've got all new color. Can you focus? All new color holographic vinyl labels for. I just decided, I needed to tighten things up. and that's what I've done. So I had to devote a lot of my own personal time and energy into doing that for the company and focusing on speedrun and tightening up the ship here. And I would not have been able to do that if I was launching an entirely separate new company with a business partner that I have to devote time to, working, daily with. And so I just decided, okay, I'm going to focus on speedrun. I'm going to get things running the way that I want them in my company here. And then once things are moving in a direction where I feel I can sort of devote some more of my time over to the nutrient company, that's when I'll do that. And right now we're looking at February for a launch on the nutrients. We don't have a solid date at the moment, and I think that it's going to be a good time. I am going away for 2 weeks in February, so we'll kind of have to work around that. But we want to get it out to you guys. We're extremely proud of it. We know it's going to just kick ass for everybody who uses it. We know it's going to be a really popular product. And that's why I want to make sure that we launch it correctly and that we're not, we want to make sure that we're over prepared. I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So that's something that, this is the first business I've ever started from the ground up. Speedrun is. I've run other businesses, managed other businesses. I've done, business development, and it was never my own company, my own baby. So Speedrun is really, that's what Speedrun is for me. And I admit I have made a lot of mistakes. You guys have, if you've been here since the beginning, you've watched the progression of me, going from having, a business partner that I started Speedrun with, who definitely was part of the reason I was able to start the company, my former business partner. But then, there was just, I'm not going to get into the reasons that that didn't work out. But from the point where I took over 100%, you've gotten to watch how starting a small business in this day and age looks for somebody, and I've been extraordinarily blessed with how much support and love and success we've had in just the last 3 years. It's been insane. I can't honestly believe it sometimes, just when I see sort of like the numbers of what's going on and on the social medias and just the number of orders we're getting. I've been crazy blessed. So, and that's all you guys. So proper preparation produces passionate, perfect products. Absolutely. But that's the reason that the nutrient line launch has gotten pushed back a little bit, a few times, is just because I don't want to do it wrong. 'Cause I know it's a big deal, and I don't want to mess that up. So, I guess just what I was saying is, you've seen me mess up in the past. If you've been with us for a long time, you've seen me make mistakes. I 100%, I'm fully accountable for all the mistakes I've made, and I'm the first one to admit it. I'm probably the hardest on myself out of anybody who's ever gotten angry at me for a mistake that I've made. Believe you me, I'm a little bit harder on myself than you guys probably have been. So I'm trying to do things right these days in every way, and part of that is taking your time and doing things right, and not rushing stuff because you want to get it out there right now, So, all right, enough of that. 2025, man, holy crap. Like, in the last 12 months, the amount of growth that we've seen, like the amount of orders that we get, on any given day or any given sale, any given month, has just been climbing like crazy this year. And we've been getting kind of noticed on a larger scale. ILGM reached out to us as only the second ever breeder that they sold genetics under the Speedrun Seeds name on their website. They had one other breeder that they had done that with the month before, and then we were the second breeder that ILGM ever decided to sell. Okay, like instead of white labeling seeds, or selling something that's under their own brand, they sold it under Speedrun's under my brand, and it was an honor because they're a huge company, and I know not everybody agrees with some of the stuff that they've done in the past, and I've been I've been stepping back from that business relationship in the last few months. Just I don't need to get into the reasons for that, but just out of my own choice, though, like just kind of looking at the situation, and I just don't, I feel like maybe that kind of ran its course. But yeah, just the fact that they came to us and decided to carry our genetics on their website, and successfully they restocked a bunch of times. They sold a ton of seed. Like, yeah, it's and we have a lot of customers coming to us from that. Um, but uh, but yeah, so that was crazy. Just the fact that that partnership happened, and then yeah, I mean, I had that issue in June where I had like a major health thing happened, and like, to be real about it, like, I almost I almost died this year, or if I wasn't gonna die, I almost had like permanent brain damage. And got through that with the support of friends and family, and a lot of people who are here right now were a huge part of being there for me in that time, and that was awesome, and I appreciate it. I've made so many friends through, whether it's somebody who was just a customer originally, and then they contacted us, and we've had conversations, and I've made so many awesome friends just through this process of running this business. And I know we have the sorry guys. We have the American Autoflower Cup vote that's happening currently. If you haven't gone to vote for us in the American Autoflower Cup, go vote. You can vote for up to three people, three breeders, I think. And I'm gonna guess that we're in fourth place. Yeah, at the moment, like, that's because we were in fifth place when they released like an update to show where all the rankings were, and we were like only like 5 votes behind Humboldt Seed Company. So, and we were also added, like almost like the last breeder to be added to the list for people to be able to vote for us. So a lot of those other breeders, people had been voting for them for weeks or months even prior to us being even added. So yeah, we got added really late, and then all of a sudden we jumped up to fifth place. And I believe I can't see how we won't overtake Humboldt Seed Company in that vote. So if you ever need extra help, don't hesitate to ask for it. No, I am somebody who, even when I was younger, I did not grow up wealthy, but my family never took like government assistance or like SNAP. I don't know if that was around when I was a kid, but or like food stamps, I guess, is what it would have been back then. We never. I've just been raised. I never take money for no reason. I've had a job since I was 13 or 14 years old. I got a job when I was 14 years old working in an ice cream shop. I remember it had just opened up, and I went to go interview, and the guy was like, "You look 16." Hired me, and I worked there for years. But I'm just somebody. I will always work for and these days, actually, what I'm about to talk about for the subreddit is kind of the opposite of that. We've been here for 25 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about this big announcement for Reddit. I'm excited to talk about it. We'll talk about 2026 after that, but this is the reason that I wanted to really do this live stream, and I'm gonna shoot after this. I'm gonna shoot like a more composed video to post on Reddit about it. But okay, so our subreddit recently passed 3,000 members, and it is our central hub of our social media presence online. Slippy, what's everyone smoking tonight? I got the Granite Haze F7 here. I'm gonna take another little hit. Hold on. couldn't find my rolling papers. Oh, shit. Yeah. So, Final Boss. That's a good one. What was I talking about? Yeah. So we recently passed 3,000 members, and it's like some companies. Every company has like a primary social media. Some people have like a Facebook group. Some people have their Instagram, Discord, whatever it is. For us, it is the subreddit. That's where like this sale, this New Year or Christmas sale through New Year's. I only posted it on Reddit this time. I didn't send out an email, which I will be sending out an email tonight, like last chance to get 40% off for a very long time. We're probably not going to do that again all year, maybe until Christmas next year. So 40% off is like the most discount that I can possibly give and still have any kind of profit margin. So yeah, that's just, I wanted to be able to do that for you guys this year because you guys have done so much for us. But with everything that subreddit has done for us, the support we've gotten, just the everything, it's been insane. And I was trying to figure out a way, like, how can I give back to the subreddit a little bit of what we've gotten from it. And if we didn't have that subreddit, I don't know where we would be. And Vegetable Writer on Reddit is a near and dear friend to me, one of my best friends now, and he just kind of started off, he was a customer originally, and then he was just really active on our subreddit, and I made him the first moderator of it, and he's really been like the pillar of what has built that subreddit into what it is, which is an amazing grow community where everybody is kind to each other, people help each other learn, people help fix mistakes, people teach each other, and it's one of the most awesome, chill grow communities on the internet. I fully believe that it's maybe the best, and I can't overstate how thankful I am to have it. So with that, I thought, how can I give something back to the subreddit? So what I came up with is, from this sale, I'm going to be taking $5,000. And I'm going to be posting a video on the subreddit where I will say something along these lines. In the comment section, I want you to, if you're interested in participating, I want you to leave a comment and tell me about, or tell us, it's going to be, the whole team at Speedrun is going to be involved with making the selections here, which I'll tell you about in a second. Tell us about somebody who you wish you could have gotten a specific Christmas present for, but you weren't able to. You know, it just wasn't in your budget. Money was a little tight. You know, whatever reason it was. You know, let's say you've got a nephew who's going through a really hard time, and all he wanted was a PS5 for Christmas. His parents couldn't afford it. You couldn't afford it. You know, and you really wanted him to have that, but it's just, unfortunately, this year it wasn't going to work for you guys. Or your kid wanted an expensive Lego set, or you know a kid who's got cancer and he's in the hospital, and you wish you could do more for him, but it's just not in your budget. Whatever it is, tell us about that situation in a comment under that post, and the thing that you want to get for them has to be a specific thing, not just like a gift card or whatever, and it's up to $500. And I'm going to let that run for like a week or so probably in that comment section. And at the end, we're going to choose a bunch of people from that, and we're going to buy those things for the people that you talked about in your comment. Whichever those comments like hit home for us, and we really feel like we want to make that person's day. We want to do something for the person that you've described in that comment that you left. we're going to buy that thing. Like I said, it can be up to $500, and the amount that we're going to spend on this total is $5,000. So, if we spend $500 on every one, we're only going to be able to choose 10 people. But if we spend, 50, $75, we could choose like almost 100 people. So, yeah. I just think it would be a really cool way to give back, and it gives you guys the ability to help somebody, because that's like, just giving people a gift is nice, but giving people the ability to give somebody else a gift, I feel like it's so much more meaningful. It helps you because you get the experience of being able to do that for that person. It helps that person because they get the thing. And like, honestly, it would be really nice to help out some kids. Like, this is a really goddamn tough time for everybody financially. Like, there are people out there struggling to buy groceries. There are people out there who are like fighting every day to be able to get by, paycheck to paycheck. And I've lived that life for so many. There were times where I was like, honestly, I didn't have a place to live. I was living in a hotel room. It was like a little like short-term rental, like mini apartment with my brother out here in Oregon, and our grandfather was having to pay for it because we were just completely broke, had no prospect. It was terrible. Honestly, we went through some periods in my life where it was, if I didn't have family to help support me and my brother throughout that time, I don't know where I would have been on the street. I've gone through these things in my life. I'm blessed, and I'm so lucky now to have a company that's doing well and successful, but it took years and years of grinding to get there. So I completely empathize and completely understand with the people who are, working a job that just doesn't pay you enough. And then the kids in your life or in whatever way that might be, they don't understand. Like, they don't understand the nuances of it, and they just have to live their life the way it is. They get what they're provided. And I think it would just be really meaningful to me to be able to help some of those people. And I'm sure with the amount of people we've got in the subreddit, we can find some deserving people to help out. So Ben needs a tissue. I'm not crying yet. I'm not crying. It gets me a little bit emotional. Like, I'm fully invested in this, and I really care about it, and it's something that I'm really adamant about doing. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a good idea, and I'm not really sure what the response will be to it. I know it's a little bit weird to be asking people to leave public comments that are kind of in the ballpark of like money being tight for them. But honestly, like, we all I don't think that there's no judgmental aspect to this. I think it's everybody understands that right now is a tough period for a lot of people, and everyone's pretty much going to look past that and just kind of look at the fact that you're leaving a comment because you want to help somebody. So for anyone who ends up leaving a comment on that, it's going to be on the Reddit post. I really would prefer to have subreddit members, people who have been with us. Like, I'm not gonna prohibit, like, if somebody goes and joins the subreddit right now and then leaves a comment, I'm not going to prohibit those people from participating, but I would really, really like to be giving back to the people who have been with our subreddit and who have helped us get to the point where we're at. So yeah, $5,000. I've set it aside, and hopefully that some of the revenue from this sale will be able to cover at least some of that. But it's coming out of my pocket, and it's going straight to the subreddit. And I haven't really worked out the details of, like, okay, if we'll leave that post up for like a week, and then we'll close the comments, and then me and the speedrun team, we're going to go through them, and we're going to talk about which ones we want to select, and then we'll reply to those comments that, okay, you've been chosen. We'll send you a direct message or an email or whatever, and we'll talk about the details of where you want that thing to go and who it's for. And everyone's fully welcome to say like, this is a gift from, you don't have to tell the person like, oh, this was from Speedrun Seeds, they wanted to do this for you. No, just tell whoever you're giving the gift to that it's from you. You know, you had somebody bless you or whatever. If they question why you were able to get it for them, you know, you something happened that made it possible. You know, you don't have to. I'm not asking for credit here at all. Like, this is just, I just want to be able to do this thing for you guys. So yeah, I haven't really read any of these comments, but yeah, it's just all too much flattery. I don't need that. So yeah, that's the big announcement for what I wanted to do for the subreddit. And I had to think for a long time about like what would be good. You know, like one of the other ideas that I came up with was I was going to give a bunch of people in the subreddit the ability to give somebody else a $100 gift card for speedrun. But like, I don't know. I used to, I'm not going to get in specific, but like when I was a kid, there was somebody in my life who worked for a really big company. He was pretty high up in that company. And every year he used to give out gifts to everybody that were products from that company, which we knew he obviously got them for free. And it just always felt kind of like an empty gift. Like, oh, thanks, this is cool. But it's like you're just kind of grabbing shit from the business that you work for and you're giving it out to people. It's not really like a from the heart type gift. So that's why I kind of like I decided not to do the store credit thing, and I thought just like, fuck it, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for anybody, honestly. $5,000. It's not like I'm so rich that that's nothing for me. That's a ton of money. But it's something that I really want to do, so I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah, and piss off the accountants a little bit, but whatever. So yeah, that's the idea. And after I do this live, I'll sit here and I'll film like just like a short description of what I just talked about, and I'll post it on the Reddit, and then the comments will be on that video, the post of that video. So yeah. So the drops tomorrow. I'm not gonna do them at midnight tonight. I'm probably gonna, I just want to give I've been working like 14-hour days every day, and just I haven't finished the graphic for the drop yet, because I do all the graphic design and all the posters and photo editing and all that stuff for the company, like all the stickers that you guys see, the logo, everything comes from me. So it's time consuming, and I just haven't finished that graphic for the drops tomorrow yet. So I'm probably going to do the drops tomorrow, like maybe in the early afternoon or something. Which, tomorrow, New Year's Day. And I have cotton mouth like a motherfucker. I did not bring water. So Juice Pop, which is Orange Portal crossed with Citrus Bubblegum, that one's dropping. And then we have a strain called Slime Machine. Slime Machine is going to be dropping as well, and I'll release some more information about that on Reddit. And then I've been trying to decide if I'm going to do a third one, and if I do a third one, which one it's going to be. We have one that's going to be called Grape Crusader. We have one where I'm trying to decide between the name Terpetrator or Terp Walk. I don't know which one I like better. I like Perp Walk or Perpetrator. But yeah, Slime Machine is one that's good. That's almost definitely going to be the second one that comes out tomorrow. And then if I end up doing it as a 3-pack bundle, I might do. I think Terp Walk kind of sounds better. I don't know, like Terp Walk. I kind of like that. But thank you, Neen. I appreciate all the compliments and stuff. It's not necessary though. Like, I know you're all lying and you all hate me, and there's no reason to try to make. No, I'm joking. But love the video game themes, man. I grew up with that shit. Started with Nintendo, and still squeeze it in if I can every now and then. Yeah, man. Look, guys, the brand identity that I tried to make for Speedrun Seeds is like what the way that I tried to put it together was like where's my happy place? What's my happy place? And my happy place is it is, I'm 34 years old. So like 1999, waking up on a Saturday morning, parents aren't awake yet or they're off doing something. All the lights are off in the house, but there's light coming through the windows and just sit. We had these gaming chairs. Like they weren't gaming chairs, they were just like floor chairs, these red floor chairs with like a metal back and like a tiny little thin cushion on the bottom. And just sitting in front of the 13-inch TV and playing Sega Genesis. Like I think it was the X-Men game that I used to love on that. It's like a side scroller kind of X-Men game, and like a Saturday morning in front of the Sega Genesis is the happiest spot that I can go in my mind. Like if somebody says go to your happy place, that's where I go. So I wanted to make that like the brand image of the company. I'm a baby. I don't feel like one. I feel like 34 is old. But yeah, no. If you look, this is gonna. If I touch it, this pyramid right here. Oops, wrong way. Is gonna fall over. So you guys you're familiar with the logo, so I probably don't need to touch the pyramid. But I don't know if he's here. We had a customer visit, or a friend visit the speedrun facility here, and he gave us this awesome like hand painted speedrun. It says Speedrun Seeds there at the bottom. He gave that to us, and that was very nice of him. So I got it hanging up there in a prominent spot at my desk. But oh, here I can show you. That's kind of heavy. No, whatever. Here's one. So our logo, if you recognize these fonts, this is the Sega font, and then below it is the font from PlayStation 2, where it said PS2, not like the PlayStation font, but like just the part where it said PS2. That's the font that we replicated for the word seeds. So like even the logo is video game fonts, and I've got some more video game strain names, but I'll tell you the reason that I haven't used as many of those recently. Strains sell better when they sound like they would taste good. I might have to go get a bottle of water. Like my throat is extremely dry, so I might have to abandon you guys for like 2 seconds, or like maybe like 30 seconds and go grab one upstairs and come back. Yeah, probably I'm gonna sound a lot better if I do that because like I can't even like yeah. So let me go grab a bottle of water. I didn't plan on getting really stoned, which I am right now, and then having Cottonmouth on live. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put the mic down and give me 2 seconds. Okay. All right, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had my dog Kimbo Slice here in the office upstairs, and I went upstairs. I don't know. She was sitting in a place where she never sits, and she was acting a little weird. So I wanted to make sure I keep an eye on her. I don't know if it's just because she heard me talking down here and thought maybe there was someone here and was excited, but I picked her up and her heart's beating real fast. So hold on, let me get some water real quick. Hold on. I think she's okay. I don't know. Just freaked me out a little bit because she was sitting and like she was like real excitable when I went to grab that water. So I just wanted to make sure she's all right. Sorry, guys. It took me a little bit longer than 30 seconds. Can somebody tell me what I was talking about? Yeah, that completely just wiped my brain. You know that feeling when you have a pet and like they're acting weird all of a sudden, how like how kind of concerning that is. Here, I'll point it so that you can see her a little better. But yeah, this is Kimbo Slice. She's the company mascot. Best dog in the world. I was talking about strain names. Yeah, so the reason that I've kind of strayed away a little bit from the video game strain names, it's way harder to think of those, like, and B, I've just found just looking at the numbers that strains just sell a lot better when they sound like they taste good. Like Juice Pop is a really good one. And then, or like if they sound like descriptive of the strain, like Slime Machine, like it's super terpy, super greasy. And it sounds like Time Machine. Just like, I don't know. There's certain ones where, and then, I also have one coming up called Gummy Clusters. Hi. And maybe that'll be the third one. Yeah, maybe I'll do Gummy Clusters. Maybe I'll do Juice Pop, Slime Machine, and Gummy Clusters as like a multi-pack. Plus, with the freebie being the Granite Haze F6S1. I was amazed that Nerds Gummy Clusters are the most popular candy in like the world, I think, right now, or at least in America. Like they're the best-selling candy, and nobody has used Gummy Clusters as a strain name yet. I was amazed when I looked that up and couldn't find anyone using it. So, Gummy Cluster. Maybe I'll do that. That's okay. All right, Gummy Clusters, Slime Machine, Juice Pop. We got 3 strains dropping tomorrow, not 2, and it's going to be a multi-pack. So, yeah. Kimber, can you say hi? Can you say hi? She looks all worried. Hi. All right. Lay down. Get comfortable. Don't try to jump down. While I'm talking about drops, any plan to drop Terpsnee's Dreamcast? That one's coming up. We want to make sure we're fully testing everything and not kind of rushing into just dropping everything right after we make it. There's a lot of breeders that do that, where they'll produce a bunch of crosses and they'll just slap a strain name on it and sell it. And to me, it's not a strain until it's been tested and that we're confident in how it comes out and everything. So that's why we've been giving a lot of these ones away as freebies, because we want people to test them before we release them as strains. We try to have like maximum integrity as breeders here, and I'm not saying anything negative about any other specific breeders, but it's just, to me, something has to be kind of tested and vetted out before we slap a strain name on it and sell it. So yeah. Here, Kimber, you wanna smell the Juice Pop? No, she doesn't like it. Lineage on Slime Machine and Gummy Clusters. All that will be posted on Reddit. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna drop too much. I'm just gonna drop the names on this live, and then I want it to be a surprise. So everything's gonna be announced tonight or tomorrow morning. I'll have the graphic finished, so you'll see pictures and should name a strain crop dust. Shit gonna stink though. Yeah, another one. So I've got like a list of names and that I want to use. Because here's my philosophy on naming strains. I don't care. It doesn't have to have anything to do with like the lineage. It doesn't even really have to be like Rock Slide or Supreme Runts or whatever. Like the Supreme Runts, that one has to do with the lineage. But I'm trying to think of some of my strain, like Dreamcast. Dreamcast. The word Dreamcast has nothing to do with that specific strain, but it's just I wanted to call it Dreamcast. So there are certain ones where like I just say fuck it. It can mean absolutely nothing, as far as describing the actual plant. But it's just a cool name because I have the ability to just name a strain whatever I want and put it out there, and now that's a strain that exists in the world now. So another name that I like that I wanted to use is Stink Floyd. I thought that was kind of cool. And then let's see, what are some other ones? I already mentioned Terpetrator and Terp Walk. Turple Rain, I thought was clever. Fruit 66, right? Fruit 66. Is it Route 66? What's the song? I'm forgetting the. Get your kicks on Route 66, right? Yeah, so Fruit 66, I was going to call one Fruit 66. Terp Walk is kick-ass. Yeah, I like Terp Walk better than Terpetrator. Magnum Dong, it's a reference to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It was actually like, so Danny DeVito plays a character in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and there's a scene where he's supposed to drop a condom, and the line was supposed to be, whoops, he was dropped it on purpose to get the girl he was talking to notice or whatever, and he was supposed to say, whoops, I dropped my Magnum condom for my massive dong, I think was supposed to be the line, but he accidentally said, I dropped my massive condom for my Magnum dong, and it just became like a meme. Magnum Dong. It was just like a reference to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It was just a funny meme. Magnum Dong, like you call these big giant branches of buds donkey dicks. People. That's what. So I just thought it was funny. Is all. A lot of the shit I do, a lot of the stuff I do is just because I thought it was clever or funny. It really has no like super deep meaning. So yeah, like Juice Pop. Like that, like so, orange portal, like orange juice, and then citrus bubble gum, like popping like a bubble. So Juice Pop. So that's why I did that for that one. But man, thinking of good strain names that haven't already been used is not easy work. It's you think of a strain, then you look it up. Or there's some where you think of them, you're like, oh, of course, somebody's definitely already used that. And then you look it up and they haven't, like gummy clusters. So, strain formerly named runts. Yeah. So, what's coming up in 2026? There you go. Lay down. Here, I could try to get the camera a little far. Oops, so I forget it's reversed. There you go. Yeah, so 2026, we have a lot of stuff coming up. So I'm currently in my little office section of our like social media grow room here, which is like a 700 square foot grow room. We also have two insulated like refrigerator storage units that we are. One is already mostly done. Second one we're converting into two grow rooms. We're actually turning it into like a little compound where you'll be able to enter through like a little structure in the center, and there'll be two hallways that go out to each shipping container, which will each be grow rooms. So So like one on the left and one on the right. And then I also have a big greenhouse. I don't know off the top of my head how many feet it is by how many feet, but we just ordered. We actually just got delivered a new plastic layer for that greenhouse. So in the spring, you'll be seeing us pumping out seeds from the greenhouse, from the new container rooms, and from this room. And we have our shop, which is super high ceilings, and we're putting like a giant garage door on the shop, and we're going to be like adding a mezzanine layer in there, and we're probably going to use that as a like a transition room, maybe like for vegging, or we'll be able to do a bunch of stuff with that little mezzanine area in that room. Probably we might use it as like a pollination room, honestly. So yeah. What's up, Jim? How you doing, man? So let's see. 2026. We got a lot of new strains dropping. We're kind of just in the test period, and then the fertilizer. We're going to be releasing that fertilizer as soon as it makes sense for us to do it. And that one, that's gonna. I know it's gonna sell really well. I know it's gonna be, because there's really only one other autoflower fertilizer out there, and like I've never personally used it, but I've analyzed it like every single number that they've ever put out and all the information on it that they've put out, and I've never found like a solid description of how they formulated it specifically for autoflowers and what data they have to support the choices they made for that fertilizer and how it relates to autoflowers. And maybe that information does exist out there. I just wasn't able to find it. But that, for people who want an autoflower specific fertilizer, there's only really one choice that they can go to at the moment. And this one has been developed and updated and tweaked and refined over the course of like 5 years or 6 years at this point, of just like getting to the point where this is the pentultimate fertilizer formulation and feeding schedule for autoflower plants, and it gives you the best possible results, and it's inexpensive, and it's the simplest goddamn fertilizer that you'll ever use, and it doesn't require any CalMag, no bud boosters. It's 3 bottles, but you only ever use 2 parts at once, and those 3 parts are called Ready, Aim, Fire. The fertilizer is called Full Auto. So ready, aim, fire. It goes in order. You get ready, you aim, you fire. Ready and aim. So you think of those as part A and B. So B standing for base. So aim is the base. You're always going to use that. Ready, you use during the vegetative period, and like a little bit into the flowering period. So you use equal parts ready and aim, and then when you get into the flowering stage with autoflowers, really the need for increased phosphorus and potassium, and some changes in the micronutrients and calcium load and all that occurs. That main switch really occurs when trichome production really starts. So you start to get your flowers, you start to get pistils, the little white hairs. But then when trichome production really begins, that's when you want to focus on switching to like a more flowering focused nutrient. So that's when the switch occurs, is like kind of a little bit into what you might call the flowering cycle for autoflowers. And so you'll use equal parts aim and fire until the very end. So it's a 2-part, and like I said, the CalMag is built in, the base nutrients, the bud boosters are not necessary, and it's just, we've worked really hard on this, and we've done a lot of testing and research on our own, and we've got some people who are testing and running it right now. Didn't you release a strain called Fire? Well, we have Holy Fire, but I've never released one that was just called Fire. Will you also do dry amendment or just a liquid nutrient? So we did like a salt nutrient back in the day. That was, yeah, I didn't have the agronomist. So the business partner that I'm working with on the fertilizer is the agronomist that taught me everything that I know about agronomy. Like he's my mentor as it comes to plant and soil science. One of the most brilliant, or probably the most brilliant plant and soil scientist I've ever met in the cannabis field. You know, or agriculture or horticulture context. I've never met somebody who knows more and is better at yeah. Anyway, his name is Dave. So he's really the formulator of the fertilizer, and the one thing that we very likely will be releasing with it, or slightly after we release the fertilizer, is a microbe product. So I know a lot of you guys out there use Recharge. You can use this in place of Recharge, and it does so much more. It is an amazingly effective product. And at the moment, the name that we've kind of settled on for that is called Payload. So that's the microbe product that we very likely will be selling with the fertilizer. Don't know if that'll be right away though. What's your yields on, say, Granite Haze F7 with your nutrient line? So for us, we do seed production, so it affects our yields a little bit, but we had a number of plants that came in over a pound in the Granite Haze. I would say, over 10 to 12 ounces is what you should expect from this fertilizer. And then if you've got your system dialed in really well and a good meat, you're especially if you're using auto pots, like if you've got everything really dialed in, you can expect a pound or more. Favorite strain that people sleep on? Sapphire. Very slept on. Scotty gonna be none too happy. Nah, look, there's room in this industry for everyone. Like people, it's like I said, I've talked about Daz from Night Owl before. Like I respect the hell out of that dude. They produce great genetics. And they do a great job. I like their marketing, like their brand imagery. It's all great. And Night Owl deserves it to. I tell people run both of our genetics. Like there's no reason for people to be only loyal to one breeder. I think you should get variety, and you can see the differences between what we do and what they do. And Mephisto, that was a company that was like the first company I was ever exposed to that was producing autoflower genetics, where I was like, whoa, autoflowers can look like that. And that Rockbud was producing the flower looked like photoperiod. I was like, I didn't even know autoflowers were capable of that back, when I first started breeding. So like all of these people, I was like, whoa, these people are doing some insane stuff with breeding. I was like, I wonder if I can do that. And turns out I could. It turns out I was able to. Yeah, so like when it comes to real growers with their Recharge, that it's people will there. That is a ubiquitous product. It is on the shelf of every single home grower that I've ever spoken with. So me releasing a microbe product is not gonna frighten real growers too much, I don't think. I think there's room in this industry for all of us, and we can all be successful together, and we don't have to make it contentious or competitive like that. Auto pots and cocoa in 3-gallon fabric pots is my setup. Yep, us too. We use our 3-gallon. We use our fabric pots. We've used Pro Mix and Sunshine Mix number 4, but this next run that we're going into is going to be all can of cocoa. And we're probably going to do like maybe 2 or 3 inches at the bottom of each pot, where we do a 50-50 blend of perlite and cocoa, just to encourage drainage, but still maintain good wicking properties. I use Grow Dots and Recharge, and I will give yours a go. Yeah, I think you'll see a major difference. With as cool as those Grow Dots is what you would call a CRF, controlled release fertilizer. So it's got layers in those I forget. There's a name for what those little pellets are called, but it's escaping me right now. But there's like layers, and it's meant to dissolve in a very specific way over time. However, it's difficult to control precisely how it works. Like temperatures are different in everybody's grows, mediums are different, water retention in the media is different, how much you're watering, whether it's bottom up watering like an auto pot, whether it's top down watering like hand watering, or if you got emitters. It's really difficult to give people a consistent experience with those CRFs when it comes to home growers. So yeah, I think you'll see a major step up when you run a really good liquid nutrient like ours, and I'm not going to announce the price of what the starter kit is going to be right now, but trust me when I say it's priced very fairly. Like I could price it way higher, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not going to trying to get rich off of this fertilizer. I'm trying to just put something out there where like it's something that we've designed for us. We've designed this fertilizer line to be economical for us and to get us the best results. And I was like, okay, if we have this thing that we've been working on for all these years, and I've got now the man that taught me everything I know about designing this fertilizer, scooch off a little. Like, why would I not try to make it available for everybody? And that's what I'm trying to do. But like the starter kits that we're releasing, it's looking like we're gonna be able to put it out there for like almost half the price of that other autoflower fertilizer with their starter kit. And their stuff requires you to buy extra. You have to buy CalMag. They sell a bud booster. They have a bunch of other products that they recommend, sweeteners, where they always recommend you add these extra things. And I think that's just a ploy to sell you more products and make more money off of you. Like seeds cost enough as it is. Fertilizer is expensive enough as it is. There's no need to gouge you guys for an extra $20 or whatever to try to make some more money off of you. I want to put something out there that builds a solid brand, and people like it, and people feel like they've gotten a fair deal when they buy it. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean it's really kind of covers it. I think I'll just kind of wrap up by reflecting a little bit more on 2025. I can't overstate. I'll put it this way. I've worked a ton of jobs in my life. I told you guys earlier, I've been working since I was 14 years old. I never thought I would have a job that I really liked. I thought I would have a job where I could, tolerate it. I'm paid well enough, and then I can go home and watch a movie and chill and not think about work. Like, I thought that would be the rest of my life, working a 9 to 5, being a middleman, whatever it was. I never really had high hopes for being able to be really. People said, I've heard people my entire life, if you love your job, it doesn't even feel like you're working or whatever. That's bullshit. This job, I love it, but it's hard work, man. It is hard work. I'll stop to read some comments here. $300 for Athena. What strains in the catalog would you say do the best for outdoor greenhouse? Frosted Cheerios is a really good option. Acid Snow is a really good option. Granite Haze is a producer. It does amazing in all circumstances. If you're going to put together a multi-pack, I would do that. I'll be honest with you, from spending that little bit on seeds and whatnot, I just pulled 13.5 ounces from three plants. I can't smoke that in a year. The money I spent is worth. Oh yeah, the return on investment of buying good genetics is totally there. I'm just saying, it's a little seed is like $10 or $11 when you're buying it. There's no discount or anything. That's why I try to do these big discounts during holidays, because people can get their chance to get it for a little bit more of a price that is kind of. It's just, we have to price seeds for what the market is, and if I were to go, so there's a breeder out there, Twisted Trees, well respected. They produce really good stuff. They sell their seeds for significantly less than a lot of other people. And I've heard a lot of people kind of mention them as like a budget seed brand. And I don't think that does much for your brand to kind of identify yourself as like a budget seed brand. And unfortunately, I'm running a business here, and we want our company to come across as the premium brand that we put all this work and effort into. Like, we go so over the top with our breeding process. The grow room I just built is so goddamn expensive. This greenhouse that we're putting together, we put so much into this, that we want people to feel like, look, my packaging, is there anything in here? This is the old packaging, but yeah, like this is, I don't know. I just put so much into the imagery of this company and the brand imagery, and making, people get an order from us. I want them to open it up. I want them to pull that little ribbon and to have this like premium feeling experience. And as a premium seed brand, you have to charge at what the market rate is, which is like $10 a seed. So, that's Terpius suggestions. Terpsneeze is a really good one. I would say if you're looking for something really terpy, buy the multi-pack that's going to be coming out tomorrow. That's really the best. Like, we're putting out some fire tomorrow. Especially the slime machine. Question: as a seed hoarder, I was thinking about breaking my seeds down into sets of 2 and putting them in little plastic tubes and making little mylar pouches and heat sealing them. Just to protect the seeds, you mean? When I got my first breeder on order and pulled that tab, my wife was like, "Ooh, that's bougie." Yeah. I mean, so some people think that we're going over the top, but think about it like this. If I were to put my seeds in, and I'll get back to you, Sloan, in 1 second. Don't freeze your seeds. First of all, I just saw that comment, but I'll get back to that in a second. If I were to put them in Mylar bags, if I was buying bulk Mylar bags, they might cost me like 9 to 12 cents each, depending on how like fancy they are. Maybe less if I was buying really big quantities. But then it would be 1 Mylar bag per pack. Like, they would be sealed, and I would just grab them out of a bin or whatever to package them for you guys. But this way, if you buy 10 strains from me, I can fit 10 of those little jars in here. So it actually ends up costing less. These are not as expensive. We buy them in bulk quantities of like 20,000 at a time. And we have a great manufacturer. So actually it comes down and makes it cheaper when people buy a bunch of strains at once. This is actually a cheaper option to sell seeds like that. So it looks really fancy. And if you only buy 1 strain, yeah, okay, that's more expensive than what it would be if we were selling them in Mylar bags. But I hate Mylar bags. I just think that they look, I don't know, to me they just feel like bare minimum, and I've never been a bare minimum person. So I love my packaging. I love the packaging. So anyway, Sloan, you're talking about storing seeds long term and making sure that they're stored properly and safely. What you just described, which is putting 2 seeds at a time in a little bag and then putting them in a pouch and heat sealing them and then putting that in the freezer, way overboard. I would say I don't know if I have them sitting around here. Okay, here's one. So this is a jar of extract, but it has a rubber seal. That's pretty airtight. But I would say go on Amazon. They make little jars where you can vac seal them, like little jars where either there's a little pump or you can like press a little button and it kind of seals it. You can even leave them in the little jars that we use, like our little jars here. Leave the seeds in there, put them in a good, like a mason jar or whatever, and then if you're talking about storing them for years is what I'm talking about here. Um, just make sure you put a little silica packet. Yeah, like we have these big silica packets that we really like. We use those with our pollen, but silica packets fine. And putting them in a nice like mason jar, I would say don't refrigerate them, don't freeze them. Think about this: a seed has water in it. Um, it has to keep that germoplasm alive for however long it is until it's germinated. So that embryo is wet. It's got water. It's got a water content. I don't know what percent water a seed is, but it's got water in there. When you freeze it, what do you think happens to that water that's inside those plant cells? It expands. You can kill your seeds by freezing them. Doesn't every single time they don't die from freezing, but it can. So especially, yeah, just with the, and then also when you put something in the fridge, you're totally trusting that refrigerator to not go out of whack and all of a sudden, I've had refrigerators where I'll open it up and the top level in there is everything's frozen. Like something happened and the setting that it was on just got colder all of a sudden. And then taking something from a refrigerator or a freezer and then taking it out, condensation forms. Like you just want to avoid too cold. Like 50 degrees is totally fine. The way that I store seeds, I have a big gun safe. We call it the vault. And we put them in just airtight bags, like even just like a Ziploc bag like this. Like this is airtight enough. And then you can just, we have a heat sealer. So if we want this, we'll just kind of roll this up and we'll pop that in the heat sealer there. And then that'll just go in the vault. And that vault always, we keep it in a cool place. And then, it's like a solid big metal vault and it stays about 50 something degrees in there. Just keep it in like your basement in an air conditioned area in the dark, away from moisture, and you're good. Don't go over the top. Don't, you don't have to think like, realistically, are you going to store these seeds for 30 years? Maybe. And if you are, protect your investment and get the silica packets and get yourself like something to, help try to control the temperature a little bit more steadily. Like they make like wine fridges or whatever. They make humidors, or I think those are temperature controlled. Just keep them around 50 degrees, but don't freeze them. A cigar box is a good idea. $10 per seed minus freebies. Pricing a pound. Yeah, well, right. If you can get a pound off of a seed, then it's an excellent return. But I just know money is tight these days for a lot of people, and I hate when somebody sees the price of seeds and can't afford it. I've been through that so much in my life where there are things that I've wanted and I just don't have the money. Like I've been there where I go to the grocery store and I put my debit card in and it doesn't go through and I got to put shit back because I just didn't realize an auto payment had come out or something. Like I've been there, and like our average order amount, like if you average out, an average order value for speedrun it's about $100. It's not cheap. Like if you on the whole, everybody who places an order, it averages out to $100. Like, can you think of another store where everything is $100? Like every time you walk in there, you spend $100. It's a lot of money. I don't know. Like I'm very empathetic toward the fact that affordability is really important. Make sure she's on the screen here. So nothing's changing up with the hemp ban. If you think about it like this, seeds were being openly sold without any issues before 2019 when the hemp bill came out, and they're going to continue to be sold afterwards. Really, when that hemp bill came out, instantly, when I went through and read the whole thing, I was like, this is a disaster. They only outlawed, or they only focused on Delta 9 THC, where when you grow a cannabis plant, it doesn't produce delta 9 THC. On a little bit small quantities it does, but it's all THCA mainly in there. And they didn't realize that when they worded it like, oh, if most plants, if you harvest them at the right time, qualify as hemp, even if they're not. And then people started using hemp derived delta 9. So like if you take that little amount of delta 9 THC in your hemp extract and then you condense it down, you can fraction that off with a distillation process, I believe, and you can get delta 9 THC derived from hemp. So people started making edibles, and I was like, this is insane. A 14-year-old can go online and buy THCA flower. It's just weed, guys. There's no difference between THCA flower and regular marijuana. So I was never like thinking that was going to last very long. Like I never thought it would last this long. I thought it was going to be changed way sooner. So I've been waiting for this to happen for a long time, and they're not really focusing on people buying a little pack of seeds. That's not the primary focus of the change that they're making to the hemp bill. And even if in the wording of the new hemp bill, which is going to be fought, by the way, there's a lot of companies that are challenging the changes that they're making to the hemp bill right now. But even if they are successful in making these changes exactly as they say they are right now, we're going to continue operating exactly as we are, and it's not going to change anything. Maybe we'll put a little disclaimer with every order that, you know, these are novelty products, that we might even, you know, if we have to, we'll put something in there that says these are sterilized seeds, sterilized hemp seeds, and they're novelty products, just designed for display only, never to be germinated, and it's not possible to germinate them, whatever. If we need to put a little disclaimer on the website and in the packaging, we'll do that if that's what our legal says we need to do. But I'll defer to the lawyers, and we'll be all good. So no worries about the hemp bill, guys. When ordering seeds before legalization anywhere, got a note from customs twice saying they took my seeds, sent a pic of the note to the company, and got them replaced fees. Yeah, dude, trust me, in my life, I've gotten those letters too. Not so much really with Speedrun. I think once we did, and the issues that we've had have all been South America. I believe, unfortunately, we actually have to stop selling seeds to Mexico. We've just had too many packages just stop moving and get lost trying to ship to Mexico. So I think we are going to have to just give up on trying to ship to Mexico. We're going to look into using FedEx or UPS. But realistically, we might just, and then Brazil has been a pain. I don't know why, but Central and South America have been really the only issues. We've had no problems with Australia, Germany, UK. It's been smooth sailing. Lithuania, Luxembourg. We get a lot of European orders, and we've had no issues. Even in Scandinavia, it's been, this map here, it's not complete right now. I have a few countries to add. Oops. But if you take a look at this map, that's the Speedrun logo right there all the way over in Oregon. And then we have red lines going to every country that we've shipped to. So we've had a lot of successful international shipping. And the way that we are able to do that is we hide in plain sight. We just send a package that looks like any other package. So if you're international and you're looking at ordering, don't worry about it. We have probably one of the highest success rates of any seed company, because I understand how customs works. Thank you, Danger TV. Cartel's growing some God particle right now? Why do you say that? Oh, because of Mexico. Where is Reunion Island? What does that mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Ben, miss you on Facebook. Yeah, sorry, guys. Like, Joe, come to the subreddit, please. Joe, I miss you too, man. It's been forever. Joe, what's going on? Fuck, that's a name I haven't seen in... like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let me just... There we go. So, Joe, please come to the subreddit. I miss you, brother. I had been wanting to get rid of that Facebook group for a long time. I hate Facebook with a passion. It is nothing personal about any of the people who are on that Facebook group. It's just Facebook wasn't for me, and Reddit has been just the the home that I've always wanted on the internet. So plus Reddit shows up in Google search results. So if you search for something autoflower related on Google, you're gonna get Reddit posts in your Google search results. And the Autoflowers subreddit has welcomed us with like open arms, and there's like 200,000 people in that subreddit, and they really respect and love speedrun in that subreddit, and that's not easy as a breeder to get that community in the r/autoflower subreddit to like to respect you and to kind of take you in as a legitimate and recognized breeder. The fact that we were able to kind of get to that level on that subreddit in the short amount of time that we've been operating as speedrun has been crazy flattering and validating, and I really appreciate everything that everybody on that subreddit has done. And then our own subreddit is just like, yeah, it just feels like home. It's awesome. You would think it's like most other subs filled with morons, but speedrun sub is all love. Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know. I feel like when you put that good energy out into the world, you attract it back. Like I was just having this conversation with the guy that my web developer. So the guy that built our new website. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the new website. I really love it. He is an amazing web developer. He's out of Pakistan. And if anybody is looking for a good web developer, I've got the guy. Like the prices that he charges are insanely fair. And this website that was built from the bottom up from scratch, and I described to him what my dream website would be, and he built it for me. And he gave me a price for it, which was like probably 2/3 or maybe even like half of what I would have paid from a lot of other web developers, and he let me pay in installments monthly. He built the website, and I paid him over the course of a few months. Like, what other web developer? Yeah, it was amazing. Like, so if you guys, anybody needs a web developer, reach out to us. He is the man. Like, seriously. Couldn't have been, but anyway, the reason I brought that up, I was just having a conversation with him where it's like, I told him I'm so happy. I felt like this dude is super, super smart, good conversationalist, like just a really awesome dude. Like I've becoming friends with him. And, I was like, I'm so happy to have like, what he said to me was people who put out like that vibe or that good energy out into the world, you end up finding that in other people, and you're instantly magnetized, attracted towards each other. And that's how good business relationships are built. And I feel that way about the subreddit. I feel like I do my best to try to put good energy out. And I feel like it brings that in, vegetable writer on there, like one of my best friends, and I've never met somebody ever who puts out a higher quality or just better vibes and energy than that man. He is just one of the best people, one of my favorite people on the planet, and he's one of the main reasons that subreddit is what it is because he's out there constantly just building good vibes. As a musician, I got most of my gigs by being a positive person. Lots of people play with, yeah. Exactly. Like, here's another thing. My other head breeder here at Speedrun, his name is Eric. And I worked with Eric for years and years. I worked with a lot of people in this industry. And I with the old facility, we had a lot of people come through. I brought people out from the East Coast to work for me. And the one person that I would want to work with every day on a daily basis is Eric, our other head breeder, because I'll give you an example of one of the things where it clicked for me of like how valuable he is as a coworker. There was an issue where like it was like an argument had kind of started between me and him, And he was like, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. He was starting to get a little bit heated. He's like, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette. Walks outside, smokes a cigarette, comes back in, totally chill. Like all that negative energy was gone. At the end of the day, he came up to me, man to man. He was like, "Hey, dude, here's what I was kind of unhappy about how we handled that situation, and I just wanted, like private between me and him." That kind of emotional intelligence is so rare in the workplace to find somebody who's just like, who understands this is not a battle that needs to be fought publicly and emotionally. And that is emotional intelligence, and that is extremely valuable. And that's something that I try to cultivate within myself, and I try to bring in with the people around me. And our customer care specialist, who just made a comment, Dreamcast crossed with Orange Portal makes up Dream Portal. Yeah. Which that's a strain's about to sell out, by the way. But another extremely emotionally intelligent person, and somebody I enjoy working with every time I interact with her. She's amazing. So like those are the types of people that I like to attract, and I feel like putting those vibes out into the world, actually in like a mass scale brings that into the subreddit. I absolutely love the community. I feel like I actually have friends now. You do, honestly, man. I have made so many legitimate friends, people who have come here to the facility to hang out for a day. Like I have real friends that I've made from the subreddit. Reunion Island is between Madagascar and I always never know how to pronounce Mauritius. I never know how to. I've seen it written before. Is it Mauritius? I don't know. I never know how to pronounce that correctly. Thank you for your delivery. We sent something to you and it got there. Awesome. I'll have to put that on the map between Madagascar and I see Mozambique, Tanzania, Kenya. I don't know. I'll have to look that up, and I'll put a little dot on the map, and then because this doesn't have everything. Like this doesn't have a lot of little islands. Hawaii is kind of hidden back there behind this grow tent, but yeah, I'll have to add Reunion Island to the map for you. Got 55 minutes till New Year's on the East Coast. That's right. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you guys for too much longer. It's already an hour and a half into this stream. So, yeah, Eric. So somebody just said, I would love to hear from Eric, the other head breeder. You should see if he'd be open to a live stream sometime. There is a stream, and if you go to the YouTube and click live, there's a stream where we're sitting in my old office, and it's me and him, and we did a live stream. He hates being on camera, so we did it once. But he just really doesn't enjoy doing it, and I don't like to force him to do it. I know a lot of people want to hear from him, but like he just really doesn't like doing it. And I used to hate it also. Like I'm a little more comfortable with it these days, but like yeah, I don't know. He really didn't like it, and I respect that. So he is out there on one of the live streams from a long time ago, but yeah. So okay, guys. Yeah, really the main purpose of this was kind of just to look back at 2025 and say thank you for. I kind of had started a thought and didn't finish it, so I'll finish that thought. Like I said, I've been working since I was a kid. I never thought I would find a job where I. It's when you run a business, you're I'm a very hands-on business owner, and you don't get to go home and sit on the couch and watch a movie or finish the last episode of Stranger Things, which I'm probably going to go turn on right after this. But you don't get to do that and leave work. You don't get to walk away from work and then check back in the morning and forget about it when you're not there. You have to be there all the time. You're like, I'm constantly working. If I'm just chilling in my apartment, I'm sitting there. Like I have the printer. Oops, I'm getting weed all over. You can be. I have the printer and the cutting machine for this. I moved it to my apartment from the office here. So like making all these labels. Like I'm sitting there printing them out, running them through the cutting machine. Like there are so many things that I'm just constantly doing on the backside of the business. And even with all that, even with the fact that I'm always working, I love the position that I'm in right now. I am so happy and proud and thankful and humbled by all the feedback that we get from everybody, and just like the status that we've reached in such a short amount of time. um and like I've never been like financially comfortable in my life, and I'm starting to get there to a point with this company where I'm kind of getting there. And it's total blessing. It's a total blessing to be where I'm at. Um, and I can't thank the community enough for getting me. And that's why I want to do something to give back. I feel like I have to. I feel like I owe it to you guys, to kind of give back a little bit. So yeah, thank you so much for everything that you guys have done as a community to get us here at the end of 2025. And yeah, just thank you so much for getting us here. And we are gonna continue to grow, and we're gonna continue to kick ass in 2026. and and we're gonna, like, my goal is to be one of the biggest, companies in the autoflower space, and to be recognized as one of those breeders that everybody kind of recognizes as they're one of the good ones. That's my goal. And in order to be that, you have to work hard, and you have to have integrity, and you have to put the work in on everything, and you have to test stuff, and you have to, so yeah. Happy New Year. Thank you for all the compliments. I'm not going to go through and read them all. That would be too much. But glad you're still around. Yeah, Joe, please come to the subreddit, Joe. I miss you. I miss you, buddy. Like, please. Have you bettered your seed? Oh, so you guys, have you bettered your seed separating method yet? You saw me doing seed separating. I'm terrible at it. Eric is a whiz at seed separating. We have a perfect method for it. Where's my blower? I don't know where I put it, but we have air blowers. Yes, we have an excellent seed separating method that works really well. But he's better at it than me. Happy New Year. Dedication. Dang, won't even pull rank. I don't know what that means. Definitely find it tomorrow. Totally understand. Be terrified to do one. That's probably something I said. Response to something I said. Okay, back to that one where. Oops. Okay. Why don't y'all use a machine for seed separating? Well, we use blowers. There are seed separating machines. We've had one in the past. They just don't work the way that our system. It works extremely well. Trust me. And it also doesn't batter the seeds too much, so that because like the lines, the little lines on the seed, the dots or like the patterns, those are easy to kind of wipe off if you shake around the seeds too much. So we try to do it in a way where we're not doing that too bad. Thanks for your natural and generosity of heart. In 2026, you will become bigger. Call a strain Big Ben for next Christmas. I'm not full of myself enough to name one after me. But maybe Kimbo Slice. Maybe I'll name one after Kimbo Slice. Well, Pound Dog is named after her, because I got her from the pound. She had not the most pleasant life before I got her almost 8 years ago. And now you can see she is living it up. So, Pound Dog, this is the dog from the pound. This is the Pound Dog. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna name one after myself. I should be worried about freezing my seeds. Probably would have to ask this before doing it. You don't freeze them. Please don't freeze them. Definitely don't. Water expands. That should be enough for you not to freeze them, because there's water in the seeds. So it will expand. It could crack your seeds and kill them. So Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna call it here. If as dry as my throat is, it is now starting to hurt. Um, I'll take one more hit with you guys for 2025. I'll do a little toast here. Hold on. Here, Kimber, can you hold this? Okay, never mind. All right. To an amazing 2025. With everything that got accomplished, just to an amazing year that's happened, and to an even better 2026, with big things coming, and the community growing, and all of us getting a chance to do some awesome shit. I'm going to be going to some conventions around the country. So if you go to a Northeast Cannabis convention, or if you go to, you very well might see me. You know, I'll be putting out a schedule of the ones that we're gonna have a booth at. So check it. If you're in your area, please come say hi. But all right. So to an awesome year ahead, to a good 2026. Cheers. Love you guys. Meet and greet. Yeah, yeah. I want to do that. I know I am not nearly big enough for people to really care about doing a meet and greet, but I do want to kind of to interact with the larger cannabis community at these conventions and get the name out there and just kind of have a presence out there. So if I'm out there doing that, I would love for anybody in the community to come meet me. Illinois will probably be one of them. So, all right, guys. Probably gonna go ahead and sign off here. I might go spend some time with the people. I've got some people that we're gonna do the ball drop together, and then after that, I'll probably come back. So late tonight, I'll probably shoot that video for Reddit and I'll put it up. But feel free to go and talk about it on Reddit, and tell people what the big surprise is. It's no longer a surprise that I'm giving you all $5,000. So we'll figure out the details of it later. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out with me. Happy New Year's. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye, y'all.